I was just calling in. I want to talk about a little bit about your fight that you had this past Saturday.
Yeah, let's do it.
I watched it. It was really exciting, man. I love watching your stuff. I love watching all
They
the
cheated.
male fighters.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Uriah, Cody, you. Sick
Yeah,
to
man.
see you guys all out there. Look, you guys are all tatted up, except for Uriah, but you and Cody all tatted up. That's sick as shit.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks, man.
Yeah, when I was watching the fight, man, I had you winning 1 and 3, and
Yeah, you and everybody else in the world.
Yeah, I know, man. I thought the only way you were going to lose is if they made it a split decision. But the thing that really startled me was it was unanimous. I mean,
Yeah.
you really think Yusuf or what? I forget his name really, but you really think he won 2 rounds on you?
No, I thought that I had won the first, and I thought that I had won the third. There were some good exchanges that were pretty close in the first, but I thought that I mean, he hit me with some shots, and I stood in front of him. I hit him with a shot, and he dropped.
Yeah, man.
I hit him with some pretty hard shots. I hit him with some body kicks, and I took him down 3 or 4 times. I thought that I did enough to win the first.
I thought it was a 10-8 round, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, you had 3 takedowns.
It wasn't
you dropped. I mean, if it was boxing, it was a 10-8 round. You dropped them. There's no fucking question about it.
Right.
I mean, to grant it for him, he landed some solid punches.
Yeah.
But he didn't drop you.
No.
You fucking knocked him down. And then, so if we're taking the disciplines, we take boxing, 10-8 round boxing. Wrestling, it was 8-2 after you had 4 takedowns. He had did he get 1 or 1 reversal?
He had the reversal.
1 reversal. So the score would have been 8-4 going into the second period. So I don't know how anybody would judge that as a 10-8 round.
I think a lot of people gave him a lot of credit for the Kimura, which, like, granted, it was nice. I just didn't. I didn't feel in a lot of danger. It was obviously he sunk it in real well, but I defended it, I thought, really well. But if we're counting the Kimura, then I think we should count the armbar that I sunk in.
Yeah,
which was pretty deep, and he ended up on top at the end of the first, and I really think that was the judges are notorious for only remembering the end of each round. Yeah, I wish I could change. I wish I could go back, tell myself to explode up and get up from bottom that first, and the second he did a real good job of not getting too high. As soon as he got to mount, as soon as he really advanced his position, I bucked him off and stood back up. But it took him 3 or 4 minutes. He ate up a lot at the time on the clock. He did a really good job on top, not getting overzealous. I thought he was going to get a little greedy and try to take a more dominant position, and he didn't. That was my bad. I was a little too complacent on bottom. I was waiting for that reversal. And like I said, I got the reversal, but I waited too long. He ate up too much of the second, But I still think that 1 and 3 were mine. Third was decisively me. I was picking my shots.
Man. I couldn't agree with you more, man. Even like the second round, he didn't take you down. He just capitalized on a slip. And like you said, give it to him, He was holding top position well, but it wasn't even like he was elbowing you like how you see guys like Khabib do or Kamaru Usman do. I mean, he was just kind of – granted, like you said, he's holding the top position, but, eventually you were able to explode your hips. I don't know, man. I have you winning the fight, but personally, as a fan and a big UFC watcher, I don't think your stock goes down at all. I think you should be very proud of all the, the performance you put on. I think your stock's exactly where it's at. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it means a lot. I take pride in never. I've never been in a boring fight, man. Win or lose, I always put exciting fights on. It's something I'm proud of. But it's obviously, I would have liked to have got that win. I thought that I did enough. I got to just come back better, and it's the biggest thing that people don't see with fighting is, I think I put in enough. I think I did enough to win the fight. I should have done more. I made a couple mistakes that I would like to be able to go back and fix, but I'll just have to push forward and fix them in my next fight. Make sure they don't happen. But there's things that people don't see in fighting. Like, I think I did enough to win my fight. Doesn't matter because those 3 judges didn't think so. I made half my money. Like, I literally made half of what I thought I was going to make.
Annoying.
Like instead of making like. Imagine showing up to work, and busting your ass, but because three people who have no like. Imagine showing up to work, busting your ass for a day, and then three people who have never done the job that you're doing go, nah, we don't really like it. We don't really think it's that good. And then literally making half the money that you should have made.
That's a tough business, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like it's a tough business.
It's honest to God, man. It's that's the most brutal part is literally making half, not 3/4, not 80%, half of your money, man. And
man.
It's fucking gnarly. But it's one of those things like. It's my fault. I shouldn't let it go. And this is the thing. I say this. I shouldn't have let it go to the judges. I should have finished him. But I hate when other people say that because you have casual fans that'll be like, yeah, I should. You have people being shitty on the internet be like, oh, you shouldn't have let it go to decision.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know how hard it is to knock someone out? Like, have you ever tried to knock a person out who's also one of the best fighters in the world and has done nothing but train to knock it knocked out by you?
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Good
crazy.
luck with that, yeah.
It's just
been in a couple street scraps. When I'm in a fight, I don't fight professionally or anything, but if you're at school and you get in a fight, like I couldn't imagine throwing head kicks and shit.
Yeah.
I'm just swinging a right over and over again, hoping it connects.
Yeah.
I hate when I see people when they're talking shit on people, man. Any of it,
that's just how it goes, man. Whether it's fans or whether it's judges or whether it's journalists or whatever. Like the more time I spend in this sport, the more I realize, like, or the less I try to put any stock in like any negativity, because it's like at the end of the day, the only people that were in that cage were me and Sadiq, and he's a cool kid, man. He came up to me after the fight, gave me a hug. I gave him a hug, like no ill will. He fought a good fight too. He fought a smart fight. I think that I won, but I mean the only people in that cage are him and I. So I appreciate like guys like you who are educated fans. I appreciate the input and I appreciate the positivity. And for anybody who's being negative, you just have to kind of let it. It's like Faber always says, "Water off a duck's back." You just gotta let it ride. You just gotta let it roll off your back. It's like one of those things. It's like if you've never been in a fight, if you've never been in the position, if you've never gone out under bright lights with millions of people watching you chase your dream, like and come up short, then like there's nothing you could say to me that can affect me. You know, it's you haven't been there. If you haven't been there, like if you're a fighter, if you're one of my coaches don't sugarcoat shit. They tell me like, hey man, you fucked up. You should have done this. You should have done this. You should have done this. Like my coach Fabio tells me like, Danny too, Kieran, all the guys in my corner. They tell me what I did right and they tell me what I did wrong. Like those guys have been in fights. Like when they say something, it's I listen to it.
Yeah, it's not some dopey judge that's just sitting around pulling his putt all day.
Everybody else is just it's just you got to just let it roll off. I'm gonna try to fight again, maybe March or April. My goal is to fight 2 more times this year at least, and
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
awesome
2 more.
To hear that one.
2 more big wins. We'll forget this bullshit ever happened.
Yeah, man. I'll let you guys carry on your show, but like I said, man, I don't think your stock changes at all. I think you're right where you're at. Keep working hard, man. Got a lot of, sometimes, like you said, you only see the shitty things on the internet, but there's people pulling for you, man. I'm a big fan of all Team Alpha Male. I wish nothing but the best for you, Uriah, Cody, all of them there.
Thank you, man. That means a lot.
Hard, baby.
Thanks, brother. We appreciate that. Thanks a lot, brother.
All right, dude.
No problem, man.
Thanks.
Have a nice night.
All right.
Night, man.
That was a positive call.
Yeah, that was good, dude.
I mean, I think I said that it was clear as day 1 and 3 for sure. I even had you winning 2, but that's
a little bit of bias there, buddy. A little bit of bias.
That's all right. That's all right. But yeah, so what I don't know. Do is anything else you any comments about the fight? Anything?
No,
like
I
fight
just
week or revenge.
No,
or
everything
anything?
was great. My coaches were awesome. I don't know. It's definitely a hard. It's like I try to keep it as real as possible. Like I don't want to sugarcoat shit. It sucks bad losing that fight. It's a huge setback.
Was
financially in whether it's rankings or whatever, it's a huge it hurts, but it's one of those things where like super easy to be tough when you're winning, and when you lose is when you kind of figure out who the fuck you really are. So I'm just excited to bounce back. I'm just excited to get back in there.
Yeah, that's always the best thing, is get back in as soon as possible and get a win under it.
But what were you saying? Sorry.
Well, I was going to ask you kind of beyond your fight. It was just with how was the atmosphere with particularly like having Conor on the card? Was there anything different of it? I mean, he's a megastar now.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Have you ever fought on the same card as him, or?
No, I don't think.
I mean,
so.
you almost got in a fight with him.
Yeah.
on the thing. So
yeah, I have immense respect for Conor, man. He's so good for the sport.
I mean, there's no that beef is done with and everything.
No, I have nothing but respect for that guy, dude. There never really was any beef. It was just a bunch of big personalities in the same room. You know, I've never really had a beef with him. I think the guy is great for the sport, dude. And it was cool being on the same card as him because it got a lot of eyes on it, but it didn't really affect. I was just real focused on my thing. Like,
it was nothing in your experience. It wasn't anything much different.
There was no difference here than being on any other card, except that the weigh-ins ran late. I think because Conor ran late. So
really?
I think he pretty much calls the shots on the show. But when you're the biggest star in the sport, you can do that, and hopefully I get to be on more cards with him on it, and then. In a couple years, when I'm the biggest star in the sport, and when I'm running late, everybody else will run late for me. But it wasn't really that different, you know.
Yeah, you're on there.
What's up, fellas?
What up?
JamieJones here.
What up, dog?
Oh, JamieJones, what's up, dog?
I just want you to know I formally filed a lawsuit against the UFC and the casino that you fought at. For that decision, I lost a lot of money.
That was a robbery.
That was a pure robbery, which I do not plan on standing for. That shit was fucked up. How you doing, fellas?
We're good, man. I mean, I'm good. And he just had a baby, so he's great.
He is great.
Yeah.
I remember that. Having a baby. That's beautiful, brother. I'm happy for you.
It is beautiful,
Thanks,
but
brother.
it sounds horrific. It sounds like a fucking crime scene.
It ain't bad.
Only when you're not going through it.
Yeah.
I was the same way. I was like 36 when I first had my first kid, and like I'd never changed a diaper until then.
Yeah.
And then fucking I didn't even throw up. I'm like cleaning up shit. It was okay. It just turned out to be not bad.
Because it's almost like your shit. Like you don't mind cleaning up your own shit. And then, like, it's when it's your baby shit, you don't mind it as much.
So this is the thing. I've changed diapers, man. I'm good with that. I'm good with change. That don't bother me. I've changed diapers. I'm good with it, bro.
I've been thrown up 38 times.
Dude.
I've been thrown up on. It went from 0 to 38 in 2 years.
Dude, that sounds fucked up. But look at...
And it was just so normal. I would just wipe it off and, like, keep going.
Keep pushing. You wouldn't even change your shirt till you were done and shit. You would just be like, oh, whatever.
Fuck, yeah.
But this is
and
the
now
thing.
my nigga's about to be 9 next
crazy.
week.
That's crazy.
9 and 8. Like, fucking 2nd and 3rd grade. It's fucking nuts.
It's a beautiful
Gate
thing.
program, chess, all this shit. I'm
Yeah,
making
dude.
little coolest nerds ever.
That's fucking
but
dope.
What you guys talking about tonight, bro?
We talked about my fight, and we talked about him having a baby, and that's what I'm saying. I'll change diapers. I'll get thrown up on. I've done that with my little sister. I'm talking about the actual birthing process, dude. That is like, the whole thing to me just seems like this crazy alien, like, horror scene, dude. Like the act of pushing this thing. The whole thing it makes me not feel good it makes my stomach hurt. Changing diapers, I'm good with.
They took her in first, bro. They took her in first. And then, like, took me in, like, 15 minutes later to go be with her once we went in, right?
Yeah.
So when I walk into the delivery room, all her intestines are on the table next to her. And I'm just looking at her. Like, she's cut wide open. And they're just splashed out all over the place. It's no kind of order.
It's just like they're just willy-nilly intestines. They're not even organized.
Willy-nilly all over the table, and that's my first look when I walk into the room.
I'll throw up.
And I'm like, whoa. Yes, I get the crime scene thing. I didn't, I kept it cool because I'm a G from the streets.
Yeah, right, but here's what I'm saying, though. Is it hard as fuck when you walk in that delivery room and you see your old lady's intestines on the table? Is it hard as fuck to look at her and be like, oh, we're doing great, smiling like everything's fine?
For about 1.5 seconds it was. For about 1.5 seconds it was the hardest thing ever. But I had about 1.5 seconds to get it together and walk behind the curtain where she was because she couldn't see any of that.
Yeah.
She was behind the curtain. So I go sit behind her, and I just start cracking jokes. Like, what's up?
Yeah, you can't freak out because that's going to freak her out.
You can't show any weakness, dude.
Yeah, you got to be on point.
Show no
weakness.
weakness.
And that's all I had. Like if she wasn't there, if she was out cold, I might have puked or something. But she was up, she was awake, so I had to hold it down. And you know, when nigga manhood tested by his girl and shit, you gotta hold it together.
Right.
Like,
this sounds like
you don't
such
have no choice.
This sounds like such this is one of those things that's so crazy about being a fucking human being, because this, if you take a step back, like the act of childbirth is such a fucking crazy, superhuman feat, and people do it every day.
Yeah,
people do it every day. Some people have
tons of losers.
Dude, people, too. Yeah, dude, like some people have 9 fucking kids. They don't even bat an eye at it. Like, people do it every day. Everyone you know has done it at some point. Like, that's crazy.
They put 33 feet of intestines back into her.
Oh, wow.
And they don't even put it in a place. It finds its own home.
Oh,
they just literally grabbing 2 handfuls and dropping it back in.
No.
And it finds its home and shit. So it's literally the great. It's the nuttiest.
But that's not that was.
But that's better than looking at like a fucking a pussy the size of a fucking watermelon.
Maybe. Like, I don't know, dude.
Oh, so did you have a C-section? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wifey had she had a placenta previous, so she had a problem with the placenta during the pregnancy. So it was scheduled from jump. And so they just made the cut. And, she didn't feel any contractions, or it was all scheduled and shit.
So this is what I'm saying, though, is my mom had 3 kids. First 2 natural and the third C-section. And she told me about the shit that happened during the C-section with her guts hanging out and shit. She said even through all that, she would have still rather done all 3 C-section because it was so easy.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking insane to me.
Yeah, because you don't feel it.
That's insane to me.
You don't got to push for 12 hours or 32 hours for some people, pushing something out of your box. Like, you just lay there for fucking 35 minutes and they cut them out. And it's fucking... the ladies, we had female doctors, and they were talking about old boyfriends and how they were doing them while they're cutting the baby out of her. They're talking about old past bad dates and shit. Where me and wife are just sitting these niggas ain't even
it's not a big deal to them. It's not a big deal at all.
Daily routine shit for them.
Yeah, that always trips me out about medical shit. Like I had to go get and this is nothing like getting your intestines removed, but I had to go get a fucking cortisone shot in my hip. So they're shooting this fucking hip. I got an injection up next to my balls through my groin, and then the next week I got it straight down into my hip, and I was all nervous about getting this needle in my hip bone, and I was talking to myself, and I was telling the nurse I'm sure the doctor, I'm nervous, but I'm sure the doctor's done 100 of these, huh? Not a big deal at all. And she goes, thousands. He just did. This is his 4th one today.
Oh, Jesus.
This is his 4th. He's already done this 4 times today. My whole day was wrapped around. I hope this needle in my hip goes okay. This motherfucker.
Yeah, you were 4 of 6.
Yeah, he barely batted a fucking eyelash, dude. He'd already done 3 or 4 a day.
He's thinking about what's for lunch.
100%.
While he's doing
100%. That's fucking crazy what humans are capable of.
That shit is nuts.
So one thing I want.
Yeah. So are you sleeping, Studboy?
What's that?
Are you sleeping?
I'm sleeping. Oh yeah, I sleep. I tell that baby what to do. I was like, you go to sleep now, goddammit.
What were you going to ask him though?
Well, I wanted to pivot a little bit. I did want to get his. You're a good person to have on the phone too. I wanted to talk this kind of separate stuff and get your guys' take and everything, just about the Conor fight and everything and what happened with it and stuff, and kind of talk a little MMA shop we're on here. So what
I love it.
Jamie, what'd you think of the, I guess Jamie or Fili, what'd you guys think of the Conor fight and how he looked, and where do you think he goes from here?
Jamie, I'll let you go.
I thought it was exactly what we thought it was. I thought it was a tune-up fight. I wasn't expecting much from Cowboy. So I know Cowboy's been knocked out with a kick to the body and been knocked out to the face, which Conor does both well. So I didn't think it would take long because I thought he would stand up and dance with him. I thought it was great to see Conor in shape. I thought he was in tip-top shape for 170. I was worried about that being $100 millionaire now. Like fucking, and we haven't seen a win in a few fights. So and he's been running around smacking niggas in the face for a year and a half now in clubs and all kinds of shit.
Right.
So I didn't know what we were gonna see. So I was glad to see that like becoming a billionaire has become the new wave to give him discipline. It looks like trying to get on that Forbes list
because he was built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah, so I think getting on that Forbes list is something that might bring some discipline to him, trying to catch Floyd. So I think that, like, yeah, he looked good. He looked really good. I still don't think we saw much. I don't think we saw improvement or anything because it was Cowboy.
Yeah. Well, he looked. I mean, do you think he didn't? I mean, you don't think there was improvements from the Khabib fight?
No, I think it was probably the same.
Hard to tell because the fight's so different, I think, right?
I think the Conor that lost to Khabib would have beat the shit out of Cowboy. So, yeah, I think the different fights, different fighters just made him look good. Khabib wasn't going to stand like that, and the threat of takedown made Conor not be able to just go hard, whereas fucking this dude, I've never seen a shoulder strike like that. Like in my life, like I've never seen it bust somebody's snot box like that, and it looked like the last one. I don't know why Cowboy stood for 4 of those because he got hit with 4 of them. The 2 hit, the third one kind of missed, and the 4th one looked like it busted snot box.
Right.
So I'm like, why this nigga stand for 4 of those? No adjustment.
Right. No adjustment. Just gonna
keep getting hit with that, huh?
No adjustment. No pummel inside. No
nothing.
I mean, Cowboy can be kind of a slow starter, and Conor is not a slow starter at all. And
Cowboy would not hesitate to tire you out with his face.
Yeah.
So like he'll take it to give it, but he can't do that anymore with any guy in the top. He used to be able to do that and become wars, but his chin ain't good enough anymore for that. Like, so I don't think it's Cowboy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. We all give him that. He's fucking most wins, deserves it. He took the blue collar approach, fought 6 times a year for 9 years. Like fucking being a rich kid and taking that approach, you can't do nothing but salute him. But his time's passed. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts, Fili, on it?
I don't know. I think I like Cowboy. He's a buddy. You know, he's cool. Like, we were cutting weight together. I don't want. I try not to say anything. I respect Jamie's opinion. I try not to say anything too far one way or the other about other fighters because I'm pretty cool with everybody. So it's hard for me. I will say this. I was when I watched it, my initial reaction was more so that I was genuinely impressed with Conor than I was disappointed with Cowboy. And a lot of people said, to play devil's advocate, a lot of people said Cowboy didn't show up. They said he wasn't going to show up. They said he didn't really want to be there. They said he was going to make a shitload of money to lose. But people said all these things, and I'm not going to say I don't want to say what I think is true or what I don't think is true. I think I have a lot of respect for Cowboy, but when I watched it, my initial reaction was, damn, that was impressive by Conor, and not, damn, that was disappointing by Cowboy. I don't think that Cowboy necessarily was bringing it the way that maybe he's brought it in other fights, or I don't necessarily think that it was the best matchup for him. I don't think that maybe he was awake yet. I don't think that I will give it to you that he's kind of a slow starter in a lot of fights. But my initial reaction was, damn, that was fucking impressive by Conor. Because the head kick, you don't see, you see him throw spinning heel kicks and shit, but you don't really see Conor throw that left kick to people's face very. I thought that was pretty cool. To land the head kick, he came out and tried to drill him with that left hand 1 second in. I thought that was a ballsy move.
Almost jumped over top of him.
Yeah, and the shoulder strikes were pretty impressive. You know, Thai guys will use those in the clinch and shit, but you don't see it in MMA a lot. Right. I was really impressed with Conor's win. That was my initial takeaway. Looking back now, I could see people's argument that Cowboy didn't show up or that Cowboy wasn't he was starting slow or
might have been outclassed a little bit.
Right, might have been outclassed a little bit. Like I can completely see people's argument for that. What I'll say for myself is when I watched it, my first initial thought was, damn, that was impressive as fuck to me by Conor.
Yeah,
that was my first thought.
I don't think I didn't even think about that angle of Donald looking at Cerrone as like a negative aspect of it. I think he just got buzzsawed right through, and I think it's like Conor just came at him, and like if let's say he didn't show up, he was just trying to collect a payday or something. Could have been a lot fucking easier way to collect that payday than taking the ass beating he did in that short of a time.
I don't think he had an option. I just think Conor was I think Conor that was there to really, really, really prove a point. Like, I think Conor was there.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think he made a point to show. I think he made a point to show no respect.
Right.
Like in the ring. Like he showed plenty of respect out of the ring.
Right.
But I think his game plan was, I'm gonna walk right through you.
Right. And I think that historically Cowboy does like his some of his worst performances have been against guys who really get right in his face and go, fuck you, let's fight right now. You know?
Right.
A lot of guys.
And there always has been an argument about Cowboy moving backwards.
Right.
Like if you can get him going backwards, he's nice going forward.
Right.
But if you can get him moving backwards, it's kind of a different fight. And I love the guy, so I don't want to disrespect him. I respect his career immensely.
Right.
But truth is truth, and fucking like as just an observer, that just seemed outclassed. Like
right. That was as little of a feeling out process or a respect or that was as far removed from like high level sparring with your buddy as it can be. You know, like come out, touch gloves. We'll see who's the better fighter, and we'll dance a little bit, and I'll throw my shield. Conor came out and was like, "No, I'm going to try to take your fucking head off right away. I'm going to hurt."
Exactly.
Like Conor was trying to hurt him from the very first second, and
it's almost like we're mad at each other in the gym and we're going to fight.
Right. And some people, there are people who fight really well. There are people who fight really well when you touch gloves, and you come out, you touch gloves every round, and you come out with a healthy respect for each other, and you're dancing around, you're moving, you're throwing things back and forth, you get your range finding. Right. But there's people who do well with those fights, and there's people who do really well with the fuck you. This is war from minute 1 to minute 15, and I think that
that's you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the war person for sure.
Goddamn right.
Right, I'm the war person for sure. But I also think I love confrontation. I love getting in fist fights, right? But I think that Conor is also very much one of those people. I would say that Cowboy is actually usually his fights are better in my just as being an objective observer. Usually his fights have gone better when he's fighting someone where there's sort of a gentleman's agreement, if that makes sense.
Right.
And that's not to take anything away from him, because I have the utmost respect for Conor too. I think Conor's fucking great for sport, but I have the utmost respect for Cowboy, and I think he's a great dude. But that type of fight lends itself much more to Conor, and I think Conor knew that, and Conor wasn't wasting any fucking time, and it showed.
All right, well we're gonna let you off. One last. We're gonna get off here. Is there any last words you want to say, Jamie?
He's gonna ask you something.
Everybody follow JamieJones one word at all your social media outlets. JamieJones #1 WORD, and please follow Sativa Sports Talk on Thursday nights on YouTube.
Yeah, Sativa Sports Talk Thursday night, right? Sativa Sports Talk Thursday night on YouTube, right?
Yep, and the O and U MMA show we got over here. Yep. We got a lot of stuff over here. Wild Jones, man. Tap in. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Congrats on the baby, Studboy.
Thanks, brother.
Fili, I'll talk to you soon.
Much love, brother. Thank you for calling in. Love you, man. Thank you.
All right, dog. All right, well, I think this is a good time to wrap it up.
Good episode.
Touchy Subject Show. Always go to touchysubjectshow.com for all your touchy subject needs. Everything else,
we fucking did it, dude.
We did it.
We're still here.
That's right.
Hey, in the words of is it Duran Duran? They tried to break us. Looks like they'll try again. You know what I'm saying? Wild
That's
boys.
Right.
Wild boys.
That's from Duran Duran.
Who is it? Somebody.
No, it's the Spin Doctor.
The Spin Doctor said that.
Who's?
They try to break us, and they'll try to.
Look, they tried to break us. Looks like they'll try again. Because we ain't broke, motherfucker.
We ain't broke. That's right, goddamn. All right, take it easy.